The man discovered something strange during an autopsy. From inside the dead woman's skull, he pulled out a capsule. Driven by curiosity, he carefully twisted it open. Inside was a tiny strip of paper, so small it was impossible to read with the naked eye. To see what was written on it, he placed the strip under a microscope, but what he saw made him instantly freeze. The man checked again in disbelief. The strip clearly listed his daughter's name and phone number. Nick's mind went blank. The body belonged to a 50-year-old woman he'd never seen before. He could not imagine any connection to his daughter. To avoid drawing suspicion from coworkers, he quickly wrote down the number and slipped into the restroom, terrified. With shaking hands, he dialed the number. When he confirmed it was indeed his daughter's phone, he dropped his own phone in shock. Desperate for answers, Nick called the number again.
He'll tell you what to do next. You can't tell anyone, otherwise he'll kill me.
Nick felt utterly helpless. He was just a forensic pathologist. His daughter was a well-behaved kid, and he couldn't imagine who he had offended. Thinking of the dead old woman on the table, he sank deeper into despair. Just then, a coworker walked in and asked what was inside the capsule. For his daughter's safety, Nick had no choice but to lie, saying the capsule was empty, and the coworker left. Nick returned to his office and replayed the disturbing voicemail again and again, but the caller never called back. He finally dialed his daughter's number once more, only for a woman to answer. She said her name was Lisa, and whoever the number belonged to was probably already dead, because a man was lying dead in front of her on the beach, wearing clothes labeled with that name. She had heard a phone ringing on the corpse, searched his pockets, and found 16 missed calls. Nick was stunned. The kidnappers had told him to wait for further instructions. Yet the messenger was dead on a beach? Remembering the body he'd just examined, Nick hurried out of the office. He begged Lisa not to call the police and confessed the situation with his daughter. As ridiculous as it sounded, Nick was convinced the corpse must contain the kidnappers' next clue. He asked Lisa to go to a nearby bar and find his friend who worked in the hospital morgue. Nick rushed downstairs and ran into an intern, a friendly heavyset guy who offered to drive him. With a snowstorm approaching, Nick didn't think twice and got into the passenger seat. Meanwhile, Lisa arrived at the bar. After receiving Nick's message, she and the morgue worker drove to the beach. They loaded the body into the vehicle and brought it to the hospital. The long, dim corridor felt unsettling, and Lisa couldn't shake her growing fear.